All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about the strategic blueprint that every founder, every CMO, and every growth-focused marketer absolutely needs to understand. We're going to future-proof your business, your visibility, and your revenue, because the world of AI-driven search is here. And let's be clear, this is way more than just tweaking a few keywords. It is a fundamental shift in how business gets done.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get a handle on the new rules of the game, what has fundamentally changed in search. Then, we'll talk about shifting from just thinking about keywords to building real authority. After that, we'll actually build the AI-powered system, talk about how to implement it to get real ROI, and finally, look ahead to what's next so you can stay ahead of the curve.
So, the very first thing we all have to accept is that the old SEO playbook, you might as well just toss it out the window. It's being completely rewritten by artificial intelligence, and what worked even just a couple of years ago is becoming totally obsolete fast.
And you really need to ask yourself this question. But listen, this is not just some technical update you can pass off to your IT department. No way. This is a core business challenge. It means you have to think differently from the very top down about how your customers find you and, more importantly, how you build brand authority in this completely new landscape.
This slide really hits on the fundamental shift. You see, traditional tools were descriptive. They just gave you data about what already happened, like keyword volumes. But the new wave of AI-powered systems, they are prescriptive. They don't just give you data, they analyze the context, they predict what's going to work, and they tell you the exact moves to make to win. That right there is the game changer. So, how does this new world of AI SEO actually work under the hood? It's not magic, not at all. It's really powered by a few core technologies that have just completely flipped the script on how search engines understand and rank all of our content.
And this right here is absolutely critical. Search engines don't just match keywords anymore. They use things like natural language processing to understand the meaning and the intent behind the words. They use entity recognition to understand the relationships between different concepts. So the new battleground isn't about ranking for a single term, it's about becoming a recognized, trusted authority on an entire topic.
So, when you're out there looking at different platforms, this is your non-negotiable checklist. You need a tool that can cluster keywords by what the user actually wants, that can score your content for true relevance, and audit your site on its own. And for any business leader, these next two are huge. You need a platform that can predict traffic and spot competitive threats before they become a problem. That's what separates a basic tool from a real strategic asset.
Now, let's be real for a second. The solution isn't some single magic tool that does everything perfectly. That doesn't exist. The smartest, most effective companies are building a strategic system, what we call a stack, where you layer different specialized tools together to create a massive competitive advantage.
Let's actually walk through how this works, building it layer by layer to create a system that is just so much more powerful than any single part could be on its own.
Okay, layer one. Think of this as the foundation of your house. It's your big, comprehensive suite. This is your command center, right? It gives you that 30,000-foot view of tracking, research, and basic audits. It's the essential first layer that everything else is going to plug into.
Next up, layer two. You bring in the specialist. This is a tool that is laser-focused on one thing: content intelligence. Its job is to make sure every single article, every blog post, every landing page has the depth and the relevance to not just compete, but to completely dominate in the search results.
And finally, layer three. You bring in your technical expert. This is a dedicated tool that handles all the complex, under-the-hood stuff, the deep analysis of your site's health. It makes sure all that amazing strategic content you're creating is built on a foundation that is rock solid.
Okay, so you've designed your perfect stack. Awesome. But let's be honest, having the right tools is only half the battle. Implementing them for maximum impact is a whole other thing, and having a methodical, phased approach is absolutely the key to making it work. And this is a really smart, manageable way to roll it out. You start by assessing your needs and picking the tools. Then you integrate and set them up. Then you focus on training your team. And finally, you get into ongoing optimization. The best part? This approach lets you grab some quick wins early on, which builds momentum and shows value right away.
But of course, here it is, the billion-dollar question for any founder, any board member, any CMO. How does all this investment in tech and process actually translate to the bottom line? How does it make us money?
Well, let's just do some quick, simple math. Imagine a site that's already making, say, $50,000 a month from organic traffic.
Now, using this system, they achieve a pretty realistic 20% traffic increase. You know what that adds up to? An extra $120,000 in annual revenue. The ROI becomes crystal clear.
But here's the thing. Locking in that kind of ROI isn't a one-and-done deal. This whole landscape is constantly changing. So, to keep that lead and that revenue, you have to be looking at where search is going next. And guess what? The next big shift is already here.
We are moving from a world obsessed with keywords to a world built on entities. This is the next frontier. It means your strategy has to shift from targeting a phrase like best running shoes to building recognized authority around the entire concept of marathon training. When you own the concept, the entity, you become the definitive answer, not just another blue link on a page.
And that's really the big idea I want you to walk away with. AI SEO isn't just another marketing tactic. It's a strategic business function. The real goal here is to use this technology to build a durable, long-term competitive moat around your business, one that's incredibly difficult for anyone else to cross.
I love this quote because it just nails it. The AI is your force multiplier. It does the heavy lifting, the immense data analysis, it finds the patterns humans can't see. But it's your team's strategic thinking, their expertise, their creativity, that's what directs that force to actually go out and win in the market. So as we wrap up, the question I want to leave you with is not, should we adopt this? I think we know the answer to that. The real question is, how quickly can we integrate this system to build a lead that our competitors simply can't catch?